Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the Toon Review YouTube channel. My name's Paul, thank you so much again for tuning in. Now it's the day after the match before, and what I wanted to do in this video is talk about Eddie Howe's post-game comments, because I find them very confusing, and I think a lot of Newcastle fans do as well. Now, listen, when I did my match reaction last night, I knew for a fact I was going to get the happy clappers coming at me and saying, oh, you're just ranting on, you're talking nonsense, you're just doing it for a rant. I'm very sorry that I'm a passionate Newcastle United fan. I really am. You know, if I'm getting shouted down for being passionate about a really poor display, then I do apologise. Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, these people will always see flowers and roses everywhere, even when things aren't good. They just will not accept honesty and have their blinkers on full time, so you can't say anything critical against Eddie Howe or the team. It's always the bloody same. So you know what? I don't care. Come at me if you want. I'm just giving you my opinions. That's all I'm doing. And if I get passionate and I get enthusiastic about it, then that's me as a passionate Newcastle United fan. Not for any other reason. And those of you that watched me for years will know that I do get very annoyed with poor performances. But that is called being a fan. So, come at me if you want happy clappers. By all means, come at me. I don't care, right? I really don't care. I will say what I want to say because I can. And I will say it because I'm an honest fan. And I'm seeing what I'm seeing on the pitch. And I will keep saying it's not good enough. Despite the fact we beat Arsenal, which has been a lot of people's comments to me. Oh, well, we beat Arsenal. You weren't unhappy then. No, I wasn't, because we played well. But I'll call the side out when we don't play well. Simple as that. Honestly, it's unbelievable what this fan base has become, and football fans in general. You're just not allowed to get annoyed or angry about your team's performance anymore. Well, somebody coming at you. It's bordering on ridiculous. It really is. Where you say something negative and it's, oh, girl, you're having a rant, you're doing this, you're doing that. So what? That's just who I am. I'm been a Newcastle fan all my life. I'm passionate about the football club and I want them to do well. And I'm not going to apologise for that. Christ almighty. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about Eddie Howe's comments because I found them very, very confusing last night. And it's confused a lot of Newcastle fans. If you look through social media and etc., you'll see that there's a lot of comments about these post-match interview opinions of Eddie Howe's about how the game went. Because I think he saw a different game to a lot of Newcastle fans, in all honesty. He said he felt we had done enough when Palace scored. Now, obviously, Palace scored in injury time, so you're kind of thinking, yes, we've done enough to get over the line. Fantastic. We're going to win the game. We're going to get out of here with 3 points. But we didn't. He mentioned nothing about, Joe Linton switching off or defensively switching off for that brief second, which we've been guilty of so many times this season, is just a lack of concentration, and that causes the opposition to score. We've seen it so many times this season, let alone last. Now, he said we defended really well during the game, and I actually agree with him on that. The defenders did really well. If you look at the two centre-backs, for instance, Fabian Schär made a wonderful tackle on Mateta in the second half when he was about to smash a shot in. And, of course, the Dan Burn one off the line from Munoz was brilliant as well. They defended really well and couldn't do any more, in my opinion. So I agree with him on that front. He talked about Nick Pope making 3 or 4 saves. Now, I've watched the goal for Palace a couple of times, and there's been a lot of comments that Nick Pope can't really dive to his left anymore. He struggles when he dives to his left, and he's conceding very easy goals. I'm not really looking at Nick Pope for that. It was a header from very close range. He didn't have a lot of time to react. I'm more bothered about, the defending again, picking up these guys in the box. We did it with Souček against West Ham. We let him have a free header, and it was a free header for Palace's equaliser last night. So I'm not really looking at Nick Pope, but he's got to be better, I think, definitely. But he did make some good saves yesterday. Now, these are the comments that I'm struggling with. The lads committed to everything we asked them to do. Well, if that's committing to everything we've asked them to do, Eddie, we're in trouble. Because we didn't do a lot. I don't get where that comment has come from. Committed to everything we wanted them to. So that was the game plan last night. If you take it from that comment, that we did everything that the coaching staff asked the players to do, that was the game plan. And if so, that is horrific for a game plan. It was dreadful. Let's call a spade a spade. It was dreadful. So I'm not sure what he's talking about there. And then he said, our shape was good and we were disciplined. Now, I didn't see any shape from Newcastle United yesterday. I don't know about any of you guys, but I didn't see any shape in that team. You know, I was asking questions in the first half, what the game plan was. You know, what were we aiming to do yesterday from the start of that game? Because, again, the first 3 or 4 minutes, we come out the traps really well. We look hungry. But then Palace play their way into the game again, and we just fold. There didn't seem to be any game plan or certainly being disciplined. And the shape was all over the place. How many opportunities did Crystal Palace create yesterday? The shape was dreadful. Successful teams are built on winning 1-0. Well, Manchester City have been extremely successful over the past few years. They don't win games 1-0, Eddie. You know, you're looking back to the old Arsenal when it was always 1-0 to the Arsenal and they would win games by the odd goal. But that was Arsenal. They were very different. Football was different back then. But certainly, you know, if you look at the Premier League winners of late, which have been mainly Manchester City, but Liverpool have done it as well, Chelsea over the years, they haven't won games by 1-0. They've been dominant and scored plenty of goals. So we're not good enough to win games 1-0. We're just not. We haven't got the players to go out there, score a goal, and then shut up shop. We can't do it. You know, you look at that game yesterday, and at 1-0, I'm saying throughout the commentary that I want another goal. I want another goal just to kill the game off. And that's what the guy that was interviewing Eddie Howe was talking about. You know, did you want the second goal? And then he started blabbing on about successful teams are built on 1-0 wins. It's staggering. Stability was good. No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't very good. That's why Crystal Palace could have been 2-0 up at half-time, because we weren't stable. We were all over the bloody place. I thought we moved the ball well, but it stopped towards their box. Right, there is the main problem, and we identified that during commentary yesterday when we were bringing the ball forward. Again, we don't cross the ball, we don't play through balls in, we turn back and start again, which then enables the opposition to get men behind the ball and stifle the attack. You know, that happened 6, 7, 8 times yesterday. But move the ball well. We didn't move the ball well. We had one shot in the game. One shot. If you move the ball around well, you will create plenty chances to shoot the ball. But we didn't. So I don't know how we moved the ball well. I'm confused. I just don't understand the comments. A lot of good parts to our display today. Now, this is starting to sound very much like a desperate manager. And I don't want to say that. And people, again, coming at me about, oh, you want Eddie Howe out. You know, a lot of the fans want Eddie Howe out now. They don't think he's good enough to take us to the elite level. But that doesn't mean that the fans aren't thankful to Eddie to what he's done for this football club. He stabilised us. He kept us in the league. He got us into the Champions League. You cannot take that away from Eddie Howe. Right? But the fact is, you cannot win things looking at the past. Because a lot of fans now are wondering if Eddie Howe is the man to get us to the elite level, or he's taken us as far as he can go. I've said all along I would love Eddie Howe to win something with Newcastle United. But the fact of the matter is, our league position is nowhere near where the owners want us to be. Nowhere near. And the players that we have available on that pitch should be better than they're performing at the minute. Now, you can say, yes, the players aren't good enough, the players aren't putting it in, but we all know it comes back to the manager. It all boils down to the manager. He's the one that will lose his job if things don't go well, not the players. But you have to start worrying that Eddie Howe maybe has hit his limit. But that will never take away what he's done for the football club. But like I say, you cannot win things by saying, oh, but he's done well in previous seasons. Football is always in the now. And we love Eddie Howe for what he's done. Absolutely. But questions are going to be asked whether you like that or not. And a lot of people saying, oh, you know, how dare you talk about Eddie Howe like that? Give over, man. That's football. That's the way it is. And you have to ask questions now. Is he the man to get us back to where we want to be, where the owners want us to be? Or does it take somebody else to come in with fresh new ideas? Because right now, Eddie looks fresh out of ideas. And that's the worrying thing for me, as a fan. So, you know what? If you can't take honesty, don't watch this channel. It's as simple as that. If you don't like people's opinions, don't watch. But we'll always be honest on this channel and say it how it is, whether you like it or not. But quite frankly, I found the interview staggering. The things he said confused me a lot after watching that display yesterday. But let me know what you think. You know, try and have an adult conversation in the comments rather than coming out and calling me names, right? Because it's just water off a duck's back. Try and have an adult conversation as to why you're putting your opinion across. You know, it's all right saying, oh, shut up, man. Eddie Howe's done a great job. Well, put in the comments, explain to me why you think Eddie is the man to take us forward. Have an adult conversation instead of being a child and putting ridiculous comments in. Most of yous have got really good points, putting in that, you disagree, but for this reason, or you agree for this reason. That's what the comments are for formulate opinions and have a conversation. But some people just can't do it. They really can't. But thank you very much for watching the video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed it, hit that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, come and subscribe. We're on the way to 34,000 subscribers. But don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. Of course, we've got lots going on today. If you're watching this early on Sunday, 4 o'clock on TTR Extra, we've got Liverpool versus Manchester City. Full commentary of that game, which kicks off at 4 o'clock. That starts at 3:45 on the other channel. And of course, on this channel, the Toon Review, 7 o'clock, we've got the review of the game with the player ratings, etc. So get involved in that. Let's hear your thoughts on the game and what you think of Newcastle United's performance from yesterday. And a big thank you to our sponsor, Mamaroo Records, of course, based in Whitley Bay. If you're ever around the city centre of Whitley Bay, call in and see Steve. Mention that you're a TTR viewer and he will try and do you some cracking deals on music, merchandise, vinyl, sports, clothing, etc. They do all sorts in there. And of course, if you can't get in, go to their website. They also do gift cards on there, which is a fantastic opportunity to buy some gift cards for your loved ones for Christmas as well. And again, mention that you're a TTR viewer, and I'm sure Steve will do you a cracking deal at Mamaroo Records. So big thank you to them. Right, enjoy the rest of your day, folks. We'll see you a bit later on for the big Premier League clash between Liverpool and Manchester City. And then, of course, at 7, we'll see you for the review. But in the meantime, have a cracking day, folks. Take care.